guys, welcome to Saturday Night Sit Down with your host, Tammy Pinnock. On today's episode, I want to talk about what men really want. In my last video, I talked about what women really want. So today, and I told you that I was going to make another series of what men really want. So without further ado, let's dive right in. So, what do men really want? That's a question that a lot of women ask, and they don't actually know the answer. So many women think it's sex that most men want, and that's a lie. If you think that what a man really wants is sex, then you are delusional. You are deceiving yourself, because guess what? Sex is the cheapest commodity on planet Earth. It's the cheapest. A man can get sex for free. For free. In this part of the world where I am, women literally flaunt themselves at men. Back in Africa, a woman is too shy. A woman can't approach a man to say, "Oh, I love you, I just want to have sex with you." But in this part of the world, it's nothing to them. Sex is nothing. If a woman looks at you and fancies you and wants to bed you for the night, she would walk up to you and say, "Listen, guy, I like you, I want to have sex with you." Nothing attached. It's that easy. So sex is not what men want, because they can get it without even paying a farthing for it. So if you're a woman and you think you can, deprive your husband of sex or deprive your partner of sex, because of maybe you've got an argument or something, and you think you want to deprive them with sex, or you want to punish them with sex, you are punishing yourself, because the man can go out there and get it for free. So sex is not what men want. It's part of the relationship, but it's not a priority thing that a man wants. Okay, and some other women will say, "Oh, like back in Africa in those days, there's a parable that says food is the way is the way to the man's heart," or there's a way they say it, like food in the belly or something is the way to a man's heart. And trust me, that parable is outdated. Food as well is so easy to get. A man can go out and buy food, and in this part of the world, they sell African food. They sell, just say what's up. Every sort of food is out there, and guess what? They're really cheap. And a man can even get a more delicious food outside than some women cook inside. So food is not what men want. So if you think because maybe you've gone into an argument with your husband, you want to punish him by not cooking when he comes home, you are punishing yourself. And guess what? The women out there, those single ones out there that are still, waiting for a guy, they don't care. They don't want to know if the man is married. They are willing to grab that man with both hands. And whilst that man is with them, they will do everything possible to retain that man. They will cook. They will give him great sex. And I mean great sex. And they give him everything that you are depriving him from the house. So rule out sex and rule out food, because those are not what men want. And ladies, stop punishing your husbands and your partners with sex and food, because in doing those things, you are just punishing yourself. Okay? So now the question brings us to the question that, okay, if men doesn't want sex, and if men don't want food, or those are not important to them, what is it that they really want? Now, these are the answers. The first thing that a man really wants is respect. A man wants to be respected as the man, as the head of the house, because God created them with this ego in them. That's how God created them. And when you disrespect a man, you've reduced that man to nothing. And that man you will turn that man into a monster when you disrespect a man. And respect, comes with love as well. When you love somebody, you tend to respect them. When you love somebody, you tend to, you honor them. You love them and you respect them. So if you as a wife, if you as a woman, you truly love your husband, then respect comes hand in hand with love. You would love him. And you know, some women, especially in this part of the world now, they feel because maybe they are the higher earner in the house, and some because maybe the man has lost his job and they've become the breadwinner of the house. They feel they are now the men of the house. And they tend to treat the man like the woman. You know, I pay the bills, I do everything, so I'm in charge. No, you're making a big, big mistake. It doesn't matter whether you are the breadwinner. A man needs his respect. You know, respect the man. It's one thing that is the most important thing that a man wants: respect. Love your husband, respect your husband no matter the situation. Okay? And another thing that a man really wants, is a helper. You know, the Bible even says that women, we are created as helpmates for our husbands. Gone are those days, those era has gone that, you know, a woman thinks that because the man is the head of the house, then the man automatically becomes responsible for everything in the house. Those era has long gone. A man wants somebody that can help them, somebody that can be there for them, even though they are in charge, even though they are in control. Sometimes in life things will be tough and they want to fall back on their wives. Oh darling, can you help me out? And in those situations, some women, because they haven't got anything doing, they can't even help their husband. You as a woman, you're supposed to be a helpmate. You're supposed to help your husband to get to where both of you as couples should get to in life. And by being a helpmate, it means you as a woman also, you need to do something. Gone are those times where women would just sit at home and say, oh, I'm a full-time housewife. Don't get me wrong. I know there are some situations where a woman needs to be at home full-time because, you know, you've got lots of children at home, and, you know, other things taken into consideration. Sometimes some families have got disabled kids where a parent needs to really, really be at home with that disabled child. So there are some exceptions where a woman or a man would, you know, need to be at home, like a full-time husband or like a full-time wife. But apart from that, if you know you don't fall into those categories, you as well need to do something. Learn a trade, do something, get a part-time job. And if you know for whatever reason you can't get it's impossible for you to go out there and work, you can work from home. There are other things, there are other skills that you can learn, that you can actually work from home and still contribute to the well-being and the upkeep of the family. Okay? And another thing that a man really wants is a loving and a forgiving wife. Yes, a loving and a forgiving wife. A man doesn't want a woman that, you know, the man does something to you in 1915, and then you've talked about it, you've said, okay, I forgive you, and in 2020 you're still reminding him of what he did in 1915. Really? Really, ladies? Men don't want women like that. They don't want a woman that keeps reminding them of their mistakes and their errors in the past. And some of these men, you know, when they were younger, they've done, or when they were naive, they've done, or when they were stupid, really, they've done things in the past that, you know, are not really good. But they have come to realize that, okay, I don't want to be this person anymore, and they've asked for forgiveness. I want to change. You've said, okay, yes, I forgive you, and they've actually put in the effort to change. But then when something little happens, you tend to take them back and remind them of that thing that they have done in the past. That is a marriage breaker right there. Yeah, that is a marriage breaker right there. Men don't want women like that. So if you fall into that category of women that tends to remind their husband of what they've done in 1915, 1916, 1917, up till 2020, please change. You are breaking your home with your own hands. Okay? And another thing that a man wants a woman that has control over her mouth. Men don't like women that, you know, when they go out there all the years, oh, your wife has done this, your wife said this, your wife said that. They get sick and tired of hearing rumors outside about their wives. A woman should be able to have control over her mouth. So if you're that sort of woman that you love gossip, all you do is gossip and gossip and gossip. You go to one friend, you gossip, you go to the other, you gossip. All these things tend to come back to your husband. And people will say that, you know, your husband hasn't got control over you. Your husband cannot control his home because his wife's mouth is like a tap. just like a running top. Men don't want women like that. So if you fall into that category of women, and for some reason maybe you just can't help it, there are skills you can, there are strategies you can put in place to control your mouth. And one of those things is to stay away from people. Then do you always have to be out? Be at home with your children, cook, learn something new with your children, bake with your children, rather than go outside and gossip about other people and gossip about everything else and everybody else. Stay at home, limit the friends that you have. It will help you to control your mouth. Okay? And another thing that a man wants, that a man really wants, a man wants a woman as well that has a vision and a dream. Like I said, gone are those days where women just sit at home and do nothing, and back home in those days with our parents and our grandparents just sit at home and tie a wrapper on their chest and that's it, and just give birth to babies like I don't know. Gone are those days. What are your visions as a woman? What are your dreams? What do you want to become in life? Men want women that, they want women with power now, women with authority, women that, that's got their A game on. So what is it that you want to be? Learn a new skill. Learn something, and if you can upgrade from where you are, do some sort of training, get some sort of promotion, be your own boss. Learn something, run a business, do something. Have a dream, and a good man will help a woman to get to a dream, to help a woman to actualize her dreams. Okay? And another thing that a man really wants from a woman wants a woman that can have a proper dialogue rather than a nagging woman. Yes, a man wants a woman that can have a proper dialogue in the midst of conflict. So like I said, conflicts, it's something that will happen. It's normal, it's natural, it's gonna happen. No matter how perfect we are as husband and wife, we will still have conflict every now and then. But a man wants a woman that in times of conflict and in time of crisis, that a woman can actually sit down and have a proper conversation about things, not a woman that will nag and nag and nag and nag and nag. When men, they hate it. They hate nagging women. Men hate nagging women. In fact, it drives them crazy. Some women can nag for the country. If you give them the opportunity, they will nag for England and they will nag for the entire world. And most men, when you're nagging and they get tired, it's like you're just hammering something on their heads constantly. Bang, 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 bang. It gets to the point they can't even hear what you're saying anymore. All they hear is the bang, 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 bang sound in their head. And most responsible men will just take their car keys and just get out of the house, thinking that, okay, let me take some few hours out, let me drive around, let me do something, and hopefully when I get back, that running tap somebody would have shut that tap up. And sometimes they come back home, that tap is still running. The tap is still running. Now I've got two Bible passages that talks about nagging women. The first one is taken from Proverbs 19 verse 13. Let me quickly get there. Proverbs 19 verse 13. Proverbs 19, 13. Sorry, guys. We're getting there. There we go. So the first one is Proverbs 19, verse 13. And it says, a quarrelsome wife is like the constant dripping of a leaking roof. Did you get that? A quarrelsome wife is like a constant dripping of a leaking roof. Do you know what that is? That is big. It's like, when there's a hole in the roof. When there's a hole in the roof, there's this constant, and there's a hole in the roof and it's raining, and you put a bowl or something to get the water so the water doesn't go all over the floor. And you know what happens when that water keeps dripping down from the roof into that bowl? All you can hear is tuck, 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 tuck. Constantly. And trust me, if you stand by that bowl that you've kept there, trust me, you too, you before you know it, you start hearing in your sleep, you will be hearing that sound. The Bible says that's what a quarrelsome woman is likened unto. You don't want to be that woman. You don't want to be that woman that a man will be scared of coming home to. And this is why some men, they when they go to work, they're just tired. They've just had enough of their wives nagging and nagging and nagging. And some of them, they actually pick extra shifts. They want to, some of them will spend longer hours at work, not because they want to, but because they think about it. When I go home, it's a war zone. So let me wait till it's really late and then I go home. And once I get home, I know I can just go straight to bed. Men don't want those sorts of wife. So if you fall into that category, please change. Okay? And another passage in the Bible that talks about nagging wives, it's Proverbs 21 verse 19. And Proverbs 21 verse 19 says, better to live in the desert than with a quarrelsome and a nagging wife. That is big. It's better to live in the desert than to live with a quarrelsome and a nagging wife. We all know what a desert is. It's a dead land, a dry land of nothing. It's just dead, but it's quiet. The desert is quiet. The desert is peaceful. When you're there, you don't hear, the only thing you hear is the sound of the wind. The Bible is saying that it is better to live in the desert than to live in a home with a quarrelsome and a nagging wife. So ladies, if you are a nagging wife, please change. And if you've tried and there's no, you think you've tried and you can't help it, please ask the Holy Spirit. There's nothing that the Holy Spirit can't help you with. You will break your home. You will break your marriage if you are a nagging wife. Okay? So love your husband, respect your husband, and then the food and the sex comes into it. When you respect your husband, when it's time to have sex, it's so enjoyable. For both of you, the man and the woman, you enjoy it so much because there is love in the relationship. And like I said, love brings respect. So when you love your husband, you respect your husband, when it's time for you guys to come together, it's completely on a different level because you're doing it in love. You do it and both of you will enjoy it. But when you're a nagging wife, you are a boring wife. Excuse my words. When you're a nagging wife and you don't support the dream and the vision of your husband, you just nag and you just nag and you just nag. It brings a separation between you and your husband, and you're actually pushing him out to the world. Like I said, for those of you that are, thinking that you're punishing your husband with food and sex, you're punishing yourself because you're just pushing him out to those ladies that are out there. So love your husband, respect your husband. You married him for a reason, and you know why. So if you're still in a marriage, that means you still love your husband. You just need to learn a little bit here and there just to make the relationship better. So get on learning, love your husband, respect your husband, because that's what they want. The top priority that a man wants is respect and a loving wife. Okay, so that's it for today. I hope to see you next Saturday for another episode of Saturday Night Sit Down. I remain your host, Chami Pianak. Bye. Let it go.